Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Manjeet Singh, and you're watching Global Healthcare Heroes. So today, the hero we're going to celebrate is Mr. Dr. Andrew Nydegger. I'll tell you a little bit about Dr. Andrew, and then we'll talk to Dr. Andrew. Dr. Andrew Nydegger started his career in nursing 12 years ago. He graduated with his bachelor's in nursing from University of Utah and started teaching CNA students at the local high school program. While there, he fell in love with the nursing education. He earned his master's degree in nursing education from Western Governor University and was hired onto Eagle Gate College Group. While at Eagle Gate, Andrew was promoted to the position of Assistant Dean of Nursing. Andrew is passionate about empowering nurses and students to become the best they can be. Andrew recently earned his DNP, which is Doctorate in Nursing Practice, from Samford University, and currently is working as an independent nursing education consultant. Andrew enjoys his time with his wife and 2 children in his spare time. At this time, we would like to welcome Dr. Andrew.
Thank you, Manjeet. I appreciate it.
No, it's an honor to have you. Should I call you Dr. Andrew or Andrew?
Andrew is fine. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. I really want to learn from the beginning. I mean, like, what led you to become a nurse? What was the inspiration behind that you are a nurse and now you are in education? So please tell something from what inspired you.
Yeah. First, let me say thank you for having me on today. It's an honor to be with you and to talk with other nurses and others in healthcare. And I appreciate your initiative in doing this type of web podcast. So
thank you for your time.
Yeah. So when back in the early 2000s, I was in the Air Force, and I was a Korean translator, and started becoming very ill. And to make a long story short, ended up getting medically discharged from the Air Force, but spent a lot of time in hospitals and spent a lot of time with healthcare professionals, watched what they did. And became very inspired by their integrity, their work ethic, and to me, it just really enlightened me and inspired me to figure out what I wanted to do in healthcare, and was looking at different options and came across nursing, and it just really seemed to fit in with my personal philosophy of life and helping others, and being able to, at the end of each day, hold my head high, and be able to come home and be proud of who I am, and have my children be proud of who I am, have my wife be proud of who I am. And so it just all seemed to really fit together. It was a little different pathway to get there, but I appreciated the experience, and I'm happy where I am today, so it was great.
No, and sorry to hear that you felt sick at one point, but we are glad that you are helping thousands with your nursing career. So really, thank you that you have decided to join the healthcare. And want to ask you one question. When you decided to join the health force from the Air Force, the nursing per se, was it a very easy transaction, or were there a lot of struggle that you have gone through? Tell something about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, just like any nurse that decides to change paths, like anybody that tries to change career fields, there's hurdles and there's obstacles.
Right.
I was very, once I decided, I was very passionate about getting there, and during nursing school, I was dirt poor. We lived in student housing. We had 2 new children, and living off of part-time minimum wage as a student, taking on student debt. It was challenging, but at the same time, when you have a goal and when you have a passion, those sacrifices tend to be minimal compared to the reward. And I've appreciated every single opportunity and every single reward that has come from that decision, and it's just been a blessing in my life.
So now, would you say you are content? Not only you're serving in a community, but you're also able to make financially. You were able to support the family. So it was a good decision overall for you to join the healthcare.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that kind of drove me into nursing education as well. As I've benefited so much from the education that I've received, and I want to pay that forward to students that also want to join the ranks of nursing, no matter what career path they want to take within nursing, because there's so many opportunities out there. But it's just a way for me to feel connected with the next generation, and kind of pay that forward and help a lot of people. And the great thing about nursing is, you get to help people. The great thing about nursing education is you get to help people. So it compounds.
Exactly.
So
That's amazing. The way you put it, it sounds so satisfying. It's compound effect.
It is. At the end of every day, I get to go home tired and feel like I've made a difference in the world. So.
No, thank you, and really thank you for what you do. I want to ask you, what is your outlook for nursing in today's day and time?
Yeah, so I think we're kind of at a crossroads with the situation with COVID-19, the year of the nurse. It's all kind of aligned, and I think it's presenting us with a great opportunity to really push the profession forward. And I think I talk to students a lot. I talk to nurses a lot in my line of work, and I get to really kind of dive into some of the psyche of the nurse. And one question I love to ask students and I love to ask nurses is, what do you see as the big challenge of nursing? And nine out of 10 times they say nursing shortage. And while the nursing shortage is a really hot topic all the time, it's even more of a hot topic right now with COVID-19. Really, the driving factor in that is nurses willing to participate in the professional process. And what I mean by that is, we have great organizations like the ANA, the local chapters of the ANA, AONL. You have your different certification organizations, and different organizations that we can use to advocate for the profession. And I think a lot of nurses are either scared to do that because maybe they have, maybe they don't feel they have that imposter playing out, that imposter theory playing out inside their head, where they don't feel like they're an expert in anything,
Right.
Or they possibly, have never participated in political process before, or maybe they just, are really, really busy, like most nurses are.
Right.
But a simple email or a simple, joining an organization just to lend your voice, just to lend your support to them, I think goes such a long way with the profession and lending a voice to the profession. We have one of the biggest, largest professions in the world. We have more nurses than any other profession in the world.
I agree.
And yet our voice sometimes feels so small because we don't participate in those types of processes. We're scared to get involved. We're scared of maybe how people will perceive us. And I think part of that comes from our nature of being the carer, the provider, it's about other people, not about me. But I think at some point we do need to make it about ourselves and about our profession and moving that profession forward and helping others in the profession. Fortunately, I've been able to have a lot of professional and financial success from my career in nursing, and I want other people to have that as well. And so, I've joined my local ANA chapter, the Nurse Association. I'm involved in it. I ran for office and the vice president in my organization here. And it's just been so rewarding to interact with people and help, with policy and to help with getting that voice out for the profession. And when other people see you do that, it can be very inspiring to them as well.
Right, right. Andrew, you really pointed out some very, very good points. One thing I really want to ask a little bit more about, you did highlight some about what is the importance of, and you yourself has changed from Air Force to nursing, especially now this time. So many people is being laying off, they're losing their jobs, and they might be, if they decide to join the healthcare, this might be their third career, not, if you were to encourage them, what would you tell them why it is important to look into the healthcare sector, and not only those people who have done 2 or 3 careers prior, but to the young generation, they are yet to decide what career to choose. What would you say to inspire them to join the healthcare versus joining any other industry?
I think that the great thing about healthcare industry is that there's something for everybody. I started out, before I was in the Air Force, but before that I was in banking. And so I get to see healthcare from the business side. And there's a huge opportunity for that. I think there's a need for people with business background to join in the nursing line. Help us, create those fiscal models, to create models where nurses can get paid better, where we can find areas to improve costs. There's really something for everyone. There's administrative roles. There are roles for advocacy. There are roles for education. There are roles for bedside nurses. There's roles all over the place, and that to me is really the exciting part about healthcare, and particularly nursing, is that there's so many different avenues that you can take. I have students that I've worked with over the years that have such various different backgrounds and such various different family situations, different experiences. Most of the nursing students that I've worked with, this was their second or third career. They're single parents, or they're trying to improve their lives, and so healthcare jobs give that opportunity to really find your passion,
right,
and mold that, as well as give your family that support and that, the other really great thing about healthcare, and I know it's been a little bit different with the COVID-19 situation, but really recession proof, really, really stable, and it's just set to grow.
No, I completely agree. When you say recession proof, it is proven over and over that like even few past months, starting February, March, and so forth and so on, like so many disciplines were told to stay home and not to come to work, but not the healthcare. So definitely when you say recession proof, I completely do agree. So people will think that also into a consideration and will join the health force in the days to come. I completely agree. Well, sir, I want to ask you, so this is your outlook, but if you want to, you kind of touched it already, but if you were to see, what are your thoughts when you talk about the future of nursing. We have this huge shortage coming, not only in United States of America, but globally. So if you want
Right.
to, your thoughts on this topic about future, please.
Yeah, I appreciate the question. I've thought about that recently, particularly as I've been in my ENT program. We're really we're really on an edge right now. We have a lot of nurses within the next 5 to 10 years that are going to be retired, and we've spent the last couple decades relying on them for leadership and for support and for guidance in what we do as nurses. And we're going to be losing that, and that is a big hole and a big shoes to fill. So number one, we need more nurses. That's obvious. That everyone knows that.
Right.
But the other part of that is that we need more nurse leaders, and we need people with education. We need people with education in business. We need people with education in administration. We need advanced practice nurses. The advanced practice field is just exploding right now, and I think it's just a huge credit to nursing in general that the public trusts us to provide that high level of care for them, and we need to really, really push that forward legislatively. We need to push that forward educationally, open up new programs for advanced practice nurses, allow for them to practice their full scope, and there's that aspect as well. But definitely we need more nurse leaders. We need people to step up. The younger generation, if you just graduated from nursing school, you're on deck. You need to get ready. You're not going to be able to rely on these seasoned nurses for too much longer. You're going to have to be out on your own. You're going to have to be a leader. You're going to have to be the preceptor, the mentor, and it's going to be a big shift, and we need to be ready for it. And I think right now we're not.
No, I really appreciate your thought and your view on that. Well, sir, I know you're a very busy person. I really appreciate you, and we truly want to celebrate you. You are a hero, and just know that what you're doing. I could not have said that better. Like you did. You said you teach people, and they go out and they teach. So if you are not there, if we take you out of the picture, like we need so many more like you. So we thank you for what you're doing. You are a hero. So thank you.
Thank you. It's nice to be able to talk with you, and I appreciate all the heroes that have inspired me as well.
Sir, thank you. Andrew, before we go, I really would like to, if there is anything you want to share, any message with the fellow global healthcare workforce or healthcare heroes, what would that message be?
Just a huge thank you to everybody for one, inspiring me, and one, being there when I needed it, when my family needed it. We're all in this together, and I appreciate everyone for working together as a team, and for lifting each other up, and for being there for those that need it in their worst moments.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, sir, thank you again for your time, and thank you for everything what you do. And you are a hero. And all of you who is listening, who is watching, just know if you are in healthcare, you are a hero. Until next time, thank you.